Now, there have been cheers and applause at the end of a fierce shootout which saw a man who kept Boston on edge for days caught and taken into custody. A 19-year-old suspect in Monday's deadly marathon bombings was seriously injured in the standoff with police and is now in a critical condition. More now from RT's Anastasia Chorkina, who is at the scene.
After what has been a week that seems to have lasted an eternity, FBI officials as well as local law enforcement were finally able to arrest and take into custody 19-year-old Jahar Tsarnaev, the second suspect in the Boston bombings case. Of course, on Monday afternoon, two bombs went off seconds apart from each other at the finishing line of the Boston Marathon. And this entire week, there has been a manhunt after the two brothers that were seen as suspects in this case. Now, this Friday night, officials were able to find the younger brother who was in hiding in a dry-docked boat in the town of Watertown, just minutes away from Boston. A local had informed officials that he had seen a man covered in blood, and they were able to, through a helicopter that had heat signature technologies, be able to track down the young man, even though he was covered up in the boat. Standoff between him and the police lasted for several hours, and eventually they were able to arrest him and take into custody. We do know that he is in serious medical condition and has been taken to a hospital in Boston. Now, to talk a little bit more about the identities of the two brothers, of course, we're talking about a 26-year-old and a 19-year-old who have lived in the United States since 2003. The older brother, Tamarlin, had a green card. The younger brother was a nationalized citizen. They have been living in the United States for the last 10 years, and their colleagues and friends and former schoolmates acted shocked when they found out that these two brothers were behind the Boston tragedy. We do know that the FBI in 2011, upon a request of a foreign government, had taken the older 26-year-old brother in for questioning, trying to establish whether or not he had any links to extremist groups. RT spoke exclusively with the mother of the two suspects, and this is what she had to say.
He was controlled by FBI like for 5 years. They knew what my son was doing. They knew what actions and what the sites on internet he was going. How could this happen? How could they? They were controlling every step of him, and they are telling today that this is a terrorist act. Never, ever, this is not true. My two sons are innocent.
The United States President, of course, Barack Obama, has addressed the nation, really thanking cooperation and questioning really the fact that somebody who was brought up in the United States, of course, the two brothers have been here for the last 10 years, was able to commit such a horrific act. And the latest for now is that the younger brother that is now in custody is going to be treated for any kind of injuries that he had. There are reports that he had blood on him, and officials have confirmed that he was in fact seriously injured, so he will be treated now, and then the legal part of this case will certainly move forward. Anastasia Chorkina, RT, Boston, Massachusetts.